Bitcoin is still in the middle of this major consolidation phase while I am in a $4 million long position on Ethereum. And I do believe a major move is about to come anytime soon here. It is right in a weekend, so we're creating another CME gap, a big consolidation phase on the daily time frame, and of course most of the indicators and patterns are showing us a big move is likely upon us right now here. So that is exactly what I want to be talking about on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap on that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated, and let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So first of all, it is weekend, and we're creating another CME gap sitting around that $107,000 level. And yes, like most of the other CME gaps, it's always going to be inevitable to ultimately fill up that CME gap. Most of the weekends we create a big CME gap, and it's actually basically always the case that eventually we're going to be filling up that gap here. So since right now we've got a CME gap around $107,000, I also once again think it's going to be actually inevitable to fill up this gap at the end of the Sunday. So that is of course important to understand here. Then of course here on the 4-day time frame, Bitcoin is still creating lower highs and also lower lows, but ultimately what we're looking at right here is a major consolidation phase, maybe a bull flag pattern, and of course like we also have seen on the global liquidity chart, we are inevitably gonna be seeing a big breakout towards the upside, because that is also exactly what the global liquidity is doing. So you can clearly see it on this chart. Bitcoin is following the global liquidity, not of course on perfection, but eventually Bitcoin is likely going to be catching up to the M2 money supply here, because of course, as there's more money getting printed, assets like Bitcoin are ultimately going to be following that exact chart here. So yeah, this chart once again shows us the proof that Bitcoin is likely going to be moving up anytime soon here, because you can also see over here, the global money supply here is massively increasing and even hit a new all-time high just of today here. So Bitcoin, yes, is still trading in this bull flag pattern. Ultimately, whenever we're going to be breaking that top side of resistance, we're going to be in for a major continuation higher. And yes, whenever that's going to be happening, it's going to be absolutely insane here. And of course, also here, you can see most of the big moves on Bitcoin, they always start with a liquidity grab on the lower side. And that is exactly what we have seen on the most recent drop towards the downside. We had this major liquidity grab, and after this liquidity grab is where we are most likely going to be going much higher from off that point. And of course, you can see also on the bigger time frames, this cycle compared to last cycle we had of course major rallies towards the upside, and that was the bull run. But this cycle we see a big rally, large consolidation phase, and then after like 240 days, like you can see over here on this chart, we see another major rally. And that is the big difference from this cycle towards the previous cycle, where we see slower and longer bull markets. So the consensus is that we're probably still going to be having a big move here on the market. But yeah, it really will take some time. It's only going to be happening whenever we clearly break above that major level of resistance. Of course, here you can see that we're creating a major inverse head and shoulders pattern, and of course whenever we're going to be breaking outside of this pattern, it's going to be telling us the next big move here. And I mean, you can see it also on the weekly time frame. If we can clear this resistance right here, I do believe we are going to be moving up all the way up to about $140,000, which is my ultimate take profit target on Bitcoin. And of course, yes, I am still in a major long position on Ethereum, which is right now in $300,000 in profit, which is of course an insane trade here. But yeah, if we look at the charts of Ethereum, it is going to be likely coiling up even more from off this point. And yeah, Ethereum is most likely going to be attacking the resistance here all the way up to about $4,000, because yeah, if you look at this chart, you can clearly see it. This level right here is the major support here, and we just retested it after a big breakout above it, and a continuation towards the highs are going to be very, very likely for ETH here. You can see also over here with this major consolidation phase, we first had a fake out on the top side, now on the downside, and after this we're probably going to be moving towards the upside again here. So things are looking good on Ethereum. Of course, we had a liquidity grab on both directions. This also happened before, back in 2019 here, and of course also by then we had this big continuation towards the upside. Ethereum transaction count is also massively increasing, showing us there is more adoption ongoing. And of course, on the Bitcoin dominance, we are seeing a major divergence. So outside of that, there's not a lot of stuff happening. It's a very short update video, but yeah, this was it for me in today's update video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.